Howdy, howdy.
Hello. Hello. Welcome to Real Estate After Dark. Hold on, you caught me in the middle of sending a text. So, what is it? Go ahead, Adam. See if you can. Welcome to Real Estate After Dark.
Welcome. She says it all the time. So, welcome to Real Estate After Dark.
For the market.
It never stops and we never sleep. Something of those sorts. I don't ever remember it.
Okay, I'm going to stop texting. All right. So anyway, we were tonight going to pick up with part 2 of HOA. But as I was driving over here, I had my music cranked up. I was feeling good, feeling positive. We had a great day today.
Yep.
A lot of good stuff happening. And, I just felt so good. I'm like, I do not want to go in and bring my mood down with the second part of the HOA. And only because that's when it gets to the tricky and the not so friendly part of the HOA.
Yeah, because that's when, you get to have, you get to see the Karens in the HOA.
Yeah, and not only that, how ugly it can get. And, sometimes HOAs bring the worst out in people.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean, although that they are a good product to have for nice neighborhoods, neighborhoods that, have good values on homes, I still think that, there's sometimes though they can get to be daunting.
Yeah.
On neighbors, and they can create some divide.
Yeah, they really can. And not only that, just depending on the situation.
Hi, Mila.
Management companies and stuff like that. Is that Mila?
That's Mila.
Okay, I've been messaging Hot Mama. We are filling up fast on Courtney's. So I've just sent a text to my husband to block off Saturday and Sunday for you to go and do some repairs.
But business never stops.
Sorry. She might not be getting reception out there or something on her phone. So I just want to make sure. But we are getting lots of bookings. So that means you're fixing to be very, very busy.
So Mila, that means you need to call her later.
Tomorrow morning, because it's going to be late when we get off here. And she's like us. She goes to bed with the chickens sometimes. Not saying, that's a bad thing. I love going to bed early.
So.
But anyway, so what we're going to do tonight and what we're going to talk about is our wins, your wins. If, what has happened to you good lately? Like there's all this negativity, everybody's quick to moan and groan and talk about all the things that woe them and whatever. But what's happened good to you guys this week or this past weekend with Mother's Day? What was a win? What happened that was good? And just keep the spirit up.
Well, my wife was happy because she got to see, well, I guess pretty much all 3 of her kids. She's seen all of her kids in the last 2, Monday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's except for Austin, who's in Chattanooga, and them, but, it's been good. She got excited, even though we don't have kids at the house anymore, stuff, I still get her something from the dogs.
Yeah.
Because she's still a dog mom. We call her the treat lady. Because all the dogs know when she comes in the door, she gives them big old treats all the time.
Yeah.
So, of course, when we had Chloe, Chloe gained 4 pounds when we had her for 2 weeks.
Oh, my God.
Because Brittany says we gave her too much treats, overfed her.
Oh, my God.
So,
my sister-in-law, Nikki, when we go to Ohio, Sophie loves going to Nikki's because she has num-nums. So Nikki's in there and she's cutting up, like chicken off the bone That's what she feeds her, their little dogs. So chicken off the bone, and then they always get a plate of Cool Whip after. And so she's like, "You want num nums?" And so Sophie is like at her feet the whole time. So
Well, Chloe, the pups, dogs are always underneath Melissa when she's cooking. So, but yeah, it was funny because
waiting on bites to drop.
I was still asleep when Melissa got up and she let the dogs out and stuff Sunday morning, and I had flowers and a box of candy and a card from her from the dogs, and a card and flowers for me, for her, and whatever else. And she said that she opened up the card for Lily and Lucille, and Lily was on the couch, and she just was like, "Oh,
oh my goodness!"
Went over there and gave of course Lily one, huh?
Right.
So
something I need to know.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it always whatever makes someone happy. So
yeah. And you guys came to the baby shower on Saturday.
We came to the baby shower for Kat and stuff.
That was nice. She had a good turnout and good food. Almost all the food was eaten, except for what I sent home with my best friend. I'm like, "You're taking it. Take it all." So that worked out good. And Kat got a lot of good stuff, and
she was still talking about it yesterday.
And it was sunny out. It was a beautiful day, so
nice
the kids we could leave the door open and they go out to the park and all that good stuff. So yeah, it's good.
So we've got business picking up.
Business is picking up. We got 4 trays under contract again.
Again, yeah. So that one there, I kind of
took it out of contract to get it back in contract, and it's so weird because the person that came. So we were under contract, 48-hour first right of refusal because they had a home sale contingency. And I hate to kick people out of contracts. I mean, you try to make it work, but at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for your client. So when this person called, wanting to see it, and then wanting to put an offer in, it's just so weird how he is from that area. He poured the concrete for that house for the original owner. I was telling Andrew, it's almost like, he probably as a teenager or whatever dreamed of one day owning this house. Like I would love to live in something like this. And now here he is.
Coming back from Florida and
Gonna buy it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, that's where we kind of work as a team, kind of. Yeah, because they called you and not taking, you're still representing the seller.
Yeah.
Offered them to take and work with me, and we worked that out
to get their own representation.
So, because buyers need their own representation.
Yeah.
So I mean, it worked out.
Yeah.
I was able to knock it out, and whatever else, and this morning everything worked out.
Got to go and meet their mom while she did a little walkthrough.
Yep.
Yeah,
So I mean.
awesome.
So everything is working out, I think, on a positive on that.
Yeah. Yeah. And everything happens the way it's supposed to happen, So for some reason, the buyers in Colorado, maybe that house just isn't meant for them for some reason. Somebody knows why, and when. So, but anyways. So that was some of my wins. Anybody on there, Mala? Have you had any wins this week? Who else is on there? Melissa, have you had any wins this week? I think, is that Melissa Martin or Masala?
Martin.
I think she got some stuff under contract, I think.
So.
Yeah. She's busy as a little bee.
Well, I think that the market is picking up, like I said a few minutes ago, and I think we're just going to start seeing a little bit more of that uptick, especially with schools fixing to get out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and people are going to want to get that quick turnover before they go back to school. So it's going to be a busy couple of months. So,
trying to think what else happened. Got to see in-laws.
yes, Mala got to go see.
Lots of bookings, Andrew says.
Yes. I mean, it is crazy. We put Courtney's on last night or yesterday afternoon, but we had to sync it with like uplisting and all that stuff, and it takes a minute. So I had the prices set really high, like $400 a night, because what happens if you don't do that, you know, people will go, if you set the minimum at what your minimum is going to be and say that's $100, they might go in and book July 4th, which is the most expensive day, for $100 a night. So you don't want that. So I'd rather get no bookings at $400 a day than get all the bookings, and then, you know, my client is not going to make any money.
Right.
So, but yeah, today, what do we have, Andrew? 6 now? We up to 7. Maybe 7 bookings already today. So
I mean, it's kicking off good.
Oh wait, did we just get another one?
So, you know, that's always good, because I mean that just means that things are
People aren't scared to spend their money.
no, but yet we're, you know, we've got to. I mean, I think it was the last night I heard, whatever, the stock market,
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
was in the green,
Mm-hmm.
which
Way
is good.
green. Yeah.
So I mean that means things are starting.
And I
you know,
think they come to terms with more tariffs. An agreement.
Tariffs between China
China.
and U.S. got 90 days
Mm-hmm.
of reductions there.
That makes a big
So
difference.
things are going to start kind of. I think we'll start.
Do you hear what he's trying to do now with prescriptions and stuff?
No.
About reducing the price 30 to 80%.
Oh yeah.
And then averaging it out to other countries to where they're paying what we're paying.
Or we're paying what they're paying. Or something.
Yeah,
we're
so
paying what they're
well,
paying.
no, they would be paying a little bit more for us to pay the same. Yeah, more than what they're paying, not more than we do, just to make it even, I guess, out. So yeah, so some good things.
I mean, there's some balances coming.
Yeah,
It's going to take time.
you gotta go through the hiccups, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it is what it is. You know, people have love-hate relationships, but so far, you know, I try not to worry. You know, they say there's no room for worry and fear, or worry and faith. So, I mean, I've lived by that probably the last 5 years. Like, just it's gonna.
Well, I mean, I've been in the business now 8 years, going in, you know, working on 9, and I mean, I've had my low moments. I've been in my lows, but I always seem to come out right where I need to be.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always somehow, you know, things happen, you know, the way they're supposed to be. I mean, so, you know, having faith and, you know, everything else is you just have to believe in the system and believe in the processes.
Yeah.
And, you know, believe in him above.
Yeah.
And things will take and
they'll work out for you.
They'll work out. So
it's
just going to take time.
I used to worry, like if my account got to a certain amount or whatever, you know, I start panicking, especially when there's nothing in the pipeline, and it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
I've been panicking for a while, and it's just, you know.
Well,
right?
you know, then you know what?
Like what
Let
happened
it go.
yesterday. Well, I know.
Let it go.
Don't
panic. It's gonna come.
It's gonna come, and you know, I've got 95% of things I worry about never happen, so worrying must work.
Worrying must work. That's why, because no, don't worry about it. You got to have faith that things are going to work out.
So
I think I learned that Michael Church and Trina used to come to Murfreesboro and sing at a church that was at the gym over there off of Memorial Boulevard. I think it's a different gym now, but we went over there, me and Andrew, for a little bit. And then the pastor left the church. But anyway, so that's where I learned that saying. And you know how some things you hear and then they just stick. So that's always just stuck. It's like, dang. I mean, that's true. There is no room for fear and faith. You've got to pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, I was stressing over going to the doctor yesterday because I know that I ate a lot of cheesecake for April with all the birthdays.
From what your wife says, 5 cheesecakes.
I know, it wasn't 5. I only had a piece or 2 of each one. So she did make 5 cheesecakes.
Yeah.
That's our family recipe. So, I mean, kids,
Mhm.
even my daughter-in-law, she's like, oh my gosh, this is not,
So everybody starts requesting them for their
everybody
birthday.
requests it all the time. So,
Yeah.
And it's a really good cheesecake, but, it's rich.
Yeah.
But it's not one of those, you can't buy it in a store. It's these store-bought ones just have no consistency to it. Comparison stuff. So yeah, it's but yeah, went to the doctor and I was like, man, she's gonna rip me apart because my numbers are gonna, what work's gonna come back. She was not fine with it, and I told her what I did, and she's like, well, that's probably why,
Yeah, but other numbers come down.
The other things were balanced out.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
It all worked out.
Good news.
I just gotta get back in the gym and keep on that. And
you gotta start that carnivore diet.
I know. I'm
gonna smack those Doritos out of your hand next time I see them.
Yeah, but you were sniffing
I was
them in.
sniffing them. I was like, God, why do those smell so good? My Aunt Ruth, she always
There's
gets
another
a
bag of
request.
Doritos
Shut
in
up.
the back room.
For a banana split cake. Have you ever had one of those?
Mm-mm.
Not had it either, but her kids always get her to make those for their birthdays.
So.
All right. Anybody else got any good things that's happened? Mila?
Tell us something good.
You made it home safe. That's good. Andrew, are you on there, babe? He's driving back from Knoxville. He was going to stay the night. And I guess work didn't take as long as he thought. So he's going to save them some money and come on home.
Oh.
So nice of him.
New dog.
Oh,
yep.
We do have a new
y'all got a new dog. I've heard about it.
Did you see my reel? I posted a reel. Oh my God.
No, I missed it. I've been working.
Sorry. She's been nervous. Sorry I gave you work. She's been nervous because she hears the other dogs bark and then she don't want to go out. So I'm sitting in my chair on the screened-in porch, mind you. She's closed in. We got fence, whatever. So she kept sticking her nose through the hole of the chair where, the arm meets or whatever. So she would stick her head there and she was just watching behind her, like keeping her eye on the dog. And so I posted a reel. I always feel like someone's watching me. But yeah.
And how old is she?
Aunt Ruth says she thinks she's 4 or 5. I mean, she's a great dog. She's quiet. She looks just like Wicket, the dog we had to put down due to cancer. Same demeanor, everything. You look in her eyes, and Wicket had this stare about her where you could never tell what she was thinking. It's either like, I'm fixing to eat you up, or I love you to death. You didn't ever know. And so this dog has the same exact look. The only thing she's missing is a little freckle. Wicket had a freckle on the bottom of her tongue, and she don't have that. So, and her ears are longer. Like, they're so long, she steps on them when she walks. So cute. But yeah.
Oh, goodness.
You gotta watch that reel. But yeah, she's a sweet dog. My Aunt Ruth is fighting a battle right now with cancer. So anybody watching, if you could just send up a quick prayer. My mom's down there with her, helping her out. And it just kind of, it didn't come on all of a sudden, but she just knew about it all of a sudden, and it's pretty aggressive, and they're waiting on insurance to approve and all that. So, but she can beat it. She's a tough, she dips fruit in snuff, so she's tough. She can, she can beat anything. If she can spit in a can across the room, which she can, and hit it every time, she can fight.
She's dipping.
If Mimi, her mama, would have said, just put some snuff on it. No.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So if anybody can just send up a quick prayer, they don't ever hurt.
Definitely. Yeah.
What else? I ate pasta on Sunday for Mother's Day. And I felt so heavy yesterday. And I gained 2 pounds from eating one, not even a half a plate, not even a quarter of the plate of pasta.
Well, should have got some of that gluten-free pasta.
Gluten-free pasta?
Yeah.
I don't think they have it at Carrabba's.
I don't know about Carrabba's.
I'm still waiting on Jennifer Vaughn to bring in her squash spaghetti.
Well, Jennifer, if you're listening.
Hint, hint.
So, but no, I mean, I've been avoiding my truck. I cleaned it out this weekend.
Oh, that's
It
good.
was actually nice and clean, and now it's all
Is
dirty.
that why it started raining?
Probably. So.
I came back over here and there was like a monsoon. I'm like,
I
where
know.
did this come
It's like-
from?
Been raining off and on all day. So, tomorrow Melissa goes for, to meet with her doctor to see about her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens on that. So hopefully things.
Prayers
that.
for speedy recovery on that.
Yep. Hopefully that's not as bad or going to be what we really think it is. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like no matter what it is, like you dread things and you dread it and dread it and dread it,
Mhm.
and then you get there and you're like, wow, that's it. And it's never as bad as you think it's going to be. So.
No. So I mean, it's trying to think of what else it is.
So James is back in Alaska.
Yep.
He got to join us for the baby shower. That was
He'll be
nice.
gone for 3 weeks.
Yes, and then when he comes back, hopefully time for Lorla. We're gonna have to squeeze her out, Kat, early. Okay, got to squeeze her. We're gonna go do jumping jacks. My mama used to tell me to take castor oil. Could you see Kat drinking castor oil?
Video that.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Look, she's watching this. She's gonna go buy it. She's gonna chug it. She's so tired of being pregnant already. And she's lucky because like Jacqueline and myself, I feel like always pregnant during the hottest months of the freaking year. And that's the worst. Being 9 months pregnant in August, not good. But yeah, so yeah, I'm excited to meet her.
Yep, that'll make that what? 4?
4 grandbabies. Keep them coming. Can't never have
When
too
someone
many.
says something to us about having, it's like, no, I don't want any grandbabies for a while. No, I raised 4 kids
If
from.
not, Melissa does.
No, Melissa, actually, she's not. I mean, she wouldn't complain, but she wants the kids to do their thing still. So, but then she spoils the dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
You got the grand dogs until you have the grandkids.
They're almost more expensive than I think.
No,
Kid.
well, if they're in your household, it's like every time you turn around, somebody's going to the vet for something.
They're just well taken care of.
I know, but you ever heard of those parents that, I'm not saying that's you, but you know how you got the parents that'll always have the kids in the doctors because they want the attention? I'm not saying
The
that's you.
hypochondriacs.
Yeah.
Well, no.
I love my mom, but she was one of those.
So, no, ours are.
There for a while, she was making me one.
No, we do have to take Lily and Lucille.
I know, y'all have
They've got allergies.
allergies. I think
Which
Sophie
is-
does. Like,
If not, they itch like crazy. So, I mean, we try to, I hate having to take them. And,
yeah.
But I can't stand them constantly just itching
Yeah.
themselves.
Sophie's
and then,
gotten really bad about it. And so the dog that we just got, she didn't scratch at all. So I'm wondering if it is something in the house. And that's what Andrew said too. Because this dog was not itching at all. We don't have fleas because we take her to Safari Pet, and Safari Pet will not treat them or bathe them if they have fleas.
yeah.
So she's never had fleas. So I don't know if it's her food. I don't know.
Well, it's like, I mean, ours are on a sensitive stomach allergy medicine
Mm-hmm.
or food, and we have them on a supplement that we give them in the morning. But I mean, before we start doing the monthly shots,
Yeah.
I mean, Lily's stomach would be beet red,
Oh.
and just rashed
Well,
out. The
Sophia
seal
will
would
get
be,
where she mats up because she's scratching so much.
yeah, Lily's ears would be all infected and everything.
Mm.
But now, I mean,
No
as
problem.
long as we keep it on a,
So you just do the shots, or you got to give them shots and supplements?
we give them the supplements just as an extra buffer
Okay.
because it's also an immune,
Gotcha.
stuff, the zesty paws.
Okay.
So it helps, just kind of help
yeah.
make it,
Limp them along for the rest of the month.
Mhm. Well, the shots are supposed to be, they usually try to do the shots like every other month or every 6 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll try to do every quarter, but it just depends on the animal.
Oh.
Ours end up being every month just because if we don't keep them on that, we can sometimes stretch it out to a month and a half.
Uh-huh.
But other than that,
Hey, I was going to bring up, so Scott Riedel here at the office he doesn't know what breed of dog it is, but it is definitely got hound in it. I don't know if people can see this. But it's got hound in it. It's a beautiful dog, but he's trying to find someone to rehome it to. He was like a foster dad for a little bit. And he would make a great, he's got the big paws, like maybe he's got, I don't know, hound dog for sure, but I don't know what he's mixed with. But anyways, if anybody's looking for a dog, there's no charge. So just shoot us a message or comment or whatever, and I'll check in with Scott and see if he's still available. I asked my stepson because they hunt a lot, and so I thought, probably be a good fit. But they just lost a dog, so I don't think they're ready to take that on again.
You sitting there saying that, my sister-in-law and brother, they lost two little wiener dogs,
Mm-hmm.
Smokey and Stanley,
Mm-hmm.
several months ago. And they've
Yeah.
been, for the last 5 months, they've been fostering these two pups or two dogs or whatever else. And they're trying to say that they're going to be sent to the somewhere up in Ohio. Which I really think they just need to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like when I lost Baby, my
Mhm.
Rottweiler lab, it was hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, she lived to be 18,
Oh wow.
and then ended up. They brought about a week or so later. About a week or so after that is when I got Lily. Sometimes I think getting a new dog soon after, it's not replacing the dog.
Yeah.
It's that
Helping fill that void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Especially when you got kids and they've got.
well, mine were all older and everything else,
Well,
but
I'm
it was
talking
still.
about your brother.
Yeah, she's got Ruby,
Yeah.
my niece, but yeah, it's. I think having a dog, when you lose a dog, if you wait forever, you're never gonna. If you just sit and say, "I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready," you're never gonna be
Mhm.
ready. Sometimes you just have to take that leap.
My husband is so ready. He's like, "Look, Sophie ain't got long."
I keep telling Melissa I need to get another
I
German
don't know
Shepherd.
why he
go with
keeps
Lily.
saying that. Because she don't act old. She's old, but she doesn't act old. She just don't have any teeth. But he's like, "We got to get another dog. We got to get another dog. I can't be without a dog." I'm like,
I get you, Andrew.
so.
Well,
But he's good with them. He's very patient. He'll get up, Like she was tip-tapping around the first night. Like all you could hear was nails on the floor all night. Because she didn't know what to do, where she was or anything. So my Aunt Ruth already said, I let her out before I go to bed and she don't go out again until in the morning. So I'm like, if you start taking her out in the middle of the night, she's going to want to do that. No. But he took her out. She didn't do anything. She sat on the steps, so we brought her back in.
every so often, Lily will have times where Lily will wake up in the middle of the
Sophie
night.
will too. Yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we'll go out, we'll start getting ready for bed, we'll let them out. I'll give Lily her joint supplement and her calm because it's kind of her chill time
Mm-hmm.
after the day and stuff. She kind of knows that she's kind of settled down. She'll, do that, and then probably we'll sit there and catch the last bit of news before we go to bed, just to make sure that we're not going to miss any, any storms or
Yeah.
whatever, especially when it's storming out.
Yeah.
Catch that stuff, and then once we get ready, we let them back out again. Then we're pretty well done.
Yeah.
Every so often, though, it depends on if Lily's ate us too late, or Lucille, that dog could sleep all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have to force her to go out, but other than that, but yeah, I mean, we've gotten Lily will go out
Yeah.
at night, which, I mean, if we're getting up, it's just natural.
So let her out. Yeah. Yeah.
We
Same
wake
with
up
us.
throughout the night, so.
Yeah,
But-
same with us, especially if they get up. Oh, here. Oh my goodness.
So what else has anybody out there got that was good this past week? Last month I turned 52.
52.
Yep. And all my kids have all had birthdays.
Tell you what was.
Now I'm broke because all the birthdays. I gotta make more money.
Yeah. You know how to do that? Stop worrying.
Stop worrying. Well,
No.
I just kind of chilled. It's like, all right. But no, I mean, things will come around. So, I mean, but no, it's good. I mean, I still have people think I'm younger, so I'll take it.
You still getting ID?
No, not that
It
much.
depends where you go. I mean, they
Okay.
started IDing everywhere. So me and Andrew are fixing to go on our first adventure in the camper for a week
For a week.
with his sisters and his brother. We're gonna go pick them up in Ohio, so that's a 9-hour drive, easy. In the camper, it's probably gonna be 10 hours.
Maybe a
So
little longer.
go to Cleveland to get them, and then we're gonna go to, I think, Pennsylvania from there, and then to Massachusetts, and then to New York, and then to Maine. So, and Andrew is going to be doing all the driving because he's nervous about me driving the camper. I don't know why.
Have you driven it?
I just drove it around the parking lot.
Well,
The weird thing about it though is, like, you know how your pedals are normally straight ahead of you, right? Well, for some reason the gas pedal and the pedals are more over this way. So it's like you got to hold your leg over this way. So if I could reach better if it was straight ahead, but because it's kind of over to the side, it's more of a reach. So, but I can do it. He just is nervous, but that's a lot of driving on one person. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I got to keep telling myself,
Well,
no room for fear. So,
I mean, and those aren't, I mean, I've driven a lot of box trucks. I've driven some big box trucks.
yeah.
I've
Well,
driven
this is,
some tanker trucks on the airport ramps.
yeah, but you've got the individual truck and cab down here, as to where in the motorhome, you're up with it. So everything you feel like you're just going to flip. So it's a little unsettling, especially on the most skinny back roads.
I've driven some buses too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for churches.
Oh,
So I've driven quite a bit of different stuff.
yeah.
And of course, those lawn trucks, I've driven those back in the day.
I've driven big old U-Hauls while pulling the truck, but
But yeah, I can see that's going to be, an experience.
So, but I'm excited because we get to spend, we don't get to spend a whole lot of time with his side of the family. So when we do, it's just going for like the weekend, and technically we only have a day. So we'll go meet them out for dinner or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't get to visit. So this will be fun. This will be a lot of memories made, and who knows, after this we may have an RV for sale. So I'll let you know.
Don't tell Melissa that. We've talked about getting one. We just haven't,
Yeah. Well, this was definitely more me than my husband. But knowing my husband is the one that's going to have to do most of the work. So that was kind of selfish of me, but I kept looking at it as experience, with the family. And Donnie and Mala, they've got a camper, and I would love, because we're gonna do that out west trip, and to be honest, after the out west trip, we may sell it because that's kind of the main thing I wanted to do. So me and Andrew's gonna do our anniversary trip for like 2 weeks and go out west to Wyoming, where else? Wyoming, Montana, probably Arizona, probably New Mexico, Colorado. I don't know. Somewhere all up there. But Montana and Wyoming are my
one day
number
we
one.
want to. One day we've talked about taking going for a trip.
Mm-hmm.
Just packing up and driving. And that's the thing. We talk about it. We want to be able to take, well, now Lily, but because, she loves to go everywhere, but we're going to have something that she's going to be comfortable in.
Yeah.
And it's going to be us having to have an RV or something.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, you just see so many videos, people, some people live in them, they just go campground to campground and they just live in them. Heck, Byron lives at the campground, he don't travel to different states, but it's just like, it's a different type of lifestyle.
It is.
And I definitely couldn't live that way. But just, watching everything, because the window's so big in that thing. Like it wraps around. Yeah. So it's not, like you're looking out of like the windshield of the car. You can see everything. So I'm excited about that, especially, the change in scenery and stuff like that in Maine.
You'll have fun in Maine.
Yeah. Well, you said that it's on the part that we're going to.
Portland's more south.
Yeah.
So,
but you still get the same feel of Maine, right?
Yeah, that's the coastal part of it.
Okay.
Where my family is up there in the northern part of Maine in the county.
Mm-hmm.
They're what they call the county. It's Aristotle County. It's the biggest county in Maine, which is about 4 hours north of Portland.
Mm-hmm.
I have a cousin that is down there in Portland.
Okay.
And my uncle, he'll drive. He works for a laundromat guy that owns several laundromats throughout Maine.
Mm-hmm.
So he travels around and repairs all the washers and dryers and stuff. And he'll go down to Portland sometimes, and he'll stay the night with my cousin.
Yeah.
And his grandkids and stuff, and then he'll get up the next morning and go do the rest of his trip, and then come back around and drive back up. But it's about a 4-hour drive from Portland.
Well, that's like
because it's 2 hours from Bangor.
Yeah.
Which is 2 hours from Portland.
I gotcha.
So that's how we kind of know the terrain.
Wow.
And it's when you're out there, especially when you get up further, there's very little cars. There's not a whole, there's people out there. As far as Portland, I don't know much because I haven't been down in Portland.
Yeah.
But like when we flew in the first time, when I took Melissa up there the first time, we flew into Bangor. And we drove from Bangor up to Mars Hill.
Mm-hmm.
We might see a car maybe every 30, 45 minutes.
Wow.
You barely saw any cars on the road.
Why?
On the interstate. It's just the way it is up there. It's a very, very more easy. It's a slower pace.
I guess so. Lord.
I'll be interested to hear the stories when you get up there.
Yeah.
If not, I'll be getting the text, I'm sure.
Huh.
So.
Well, we're going to be staying.
Some good crab rolls. I wouldn't mind a good crab roll.
Huh. Hint, hint. Who are you talking to? I think his brother, I can't remember what Bob was wanting from Maine. Just the lobster, maybe?
The lobsters.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, not crab roll, lobster rolls.
Lobster rolls. So maybe, yeah. So his brother's
Lobster
looking forward to that. So our plan was to pick out restaurants that Guy Fieri, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. That he has showcased in these areas. But it's like unhooking the Jeep, I don't know. So we got to figure all that out. But yeah, I'm probably going to come back 10 pounds heavier. Something tells me that this is going to have to happen. Because I'm not going to have my trainer. I'm
Well,
not.
up there,
I
you
won't
need some
have
fiddleheads.
Fiddlehead.
Told you what fiddleheads were.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So you can find them. I don't know if you can find them up that way.
Mhm.
Probably.
Well, I'm not eating no lobster. I'll tell you that. They
Why
better have a
not?
steak.
Why aren't you eating the lobster?
I don't eat seafood. I don't eat the stuff that comes out the water.
Oh my goodness.
What just happened?
I don't know.
Y'all.
Oh, our battery died on
Oh, I was like, it got real estate after dark.
I was like, what has happened?
Oh, look, I look like I got a tan, though. Look at that. See, that's another thing I won't be able to do. I won't be able to tan. I won't be able to exercise.
You'll have your pedal machine.
I'll have my
to
pedal
exercise.
machine, but that's not exercise. I'm
Well,
gonna.
what do you want? What do you want?
I don't know.
I got bungee straps that you can take with, and Andrew can hook them there, and you can.
Oh, that'll work. I might have some of those actually. All right, you people. I cannot believe nothing good has happened to y'all all week long.
Hmm.
I will pray for you guys that better things will happen.
Trying to think of what else is good.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I know that my
Team
son and
meetings
daughter.
are back at 12 o'clock,
Yep, team
That's
meetings
a
are back.
good thing.
Yeah, we love that.
apparently, because it was a packed house.
Yeah, it was.
Like French, I told you so.
What was I fixing to say?
Oh, I'm sorry.
But no, my son and daughter-in-law, they came back safe. They went down to visit his family in Ecuador.
Oh, that's good. Yes.
Stuff. Went to the
I've seen all
Amazon.
the pictures. Yes.
He got sick going to Amazon. My daughter didn't. So
Something he ate, maybe?
that's what they couldn't figure out because they all ate the same thing.
Oh,
Because it was two of them that got sick.
huh.
So I don't know.
Or maybe her tolerance is higher.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be because her working in the
How
ER
long was he sick?
a couple of days.
Hmm.
You know, they were planning on doing something else. Instead, they just went to the beach.
You know.
But I mean, you
Did
know,
he drink the water?
I mean, he hasn't been there for several years, so I don't know. It could have affected him
Oh, yeah.
differently too.
Yeah, that would be weird. You would think. I don't know.
So,
Well, I'm glad they're back safe.
yep, they're back safe.
Ain't nothing. When your kids are off and you can't get to them, that's scary.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of, I don't worry about it as much because I know my daughter, you know, she loves to travel anyway, so she's learned to travel quite well. But it was kind of funny though, because when they left, I took them to the airport and he was being the husband he is and whatever else was helping carry her bags out. And, you know, we put Chloe's food and stuff in there because we bring Chloe to the house, their dog. And when they got to the airport, realized that the suitcase with his clothes was not in the truck.
Uh-oh.
It was at the apartment, at their
no.
townhouse.
What did they do?
Well, luckily he's still got clothes at his mom's, but they had a layover in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So they also went, and stayed at his friend's house down there that he's got a friend because he was down there in Miami for a while. They just went to Ross's and bought him some more clothes and got another bag and stuff. Plus he, the main essentials he needed, the underwear and socks.
Yeah.
And,
all that
and
stuff.
A little bit of that stuff. But yeah, they bought him some more clothes. Went to Ross's and done that. And then his friend gave him some stuff that he didn't wear anymore. So he kind of got some little bit of hand-me-downs. And of course, he had some stuff at his mom's home there in Ecuador. So he was all right.
So it worked out.
I told him, I said, now I know what to do. So when you want to buy new clothes,
You just leave your stuff at home.
just leave your stuff at home.
My husband. So we went. I think it was family vacation last year. He forgot to pack underwear and socks. And it's like,
Needed some new underwear and socks, huh, Andrew?
yeah. So my son was like, "Oh, you got to go." I can't even remember where it was, but he told him he got some of the most interesting underwear I've ever seen in my life. And I think you even seen a pair of them. The day of the inauguration.
I've not been seeing Andrew in his underwear. I'm sorry.
The inauguration when we was watching it on TV and he mooned it.
Okay, yeah, I did see
you
Andrew's,
did see Andrew's
American
underwear.
flag underwear when he moved the TV.
Yeah, so that was pretty.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, my son said that was the absolute best place that you could go and get underwear. But I don't know that my husband agrees with that.
So, no, but I have traveled, and when we went to the Dominican, I did forget my belt.
Oh yeah.
For some reason, here lately, every time I've traveled, I get everything else packed, and I always forget a belt.
Mm.
When we went to DC,
Yeah.
I forgot a belt because when I travel, especially if I'm on flights or I'm driving long distances, I always wear comfortable clothes. So it's either going to be shorts.
So you're not going to wear a belt.
Athletic shorts, or it's going to be my sweatpants. Because I want to be comfortable. And then especially if I'm flying, I hate having to fight with getting my belt off.
Oh, yeah.
And all that stuff when I fly. So I always try to minimize whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially when I'm flying with my wife, because I have to try to help her.
I think most people, though, when they travel, they try to be comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people that travel and they're full on suits and stuff like that. I want to be comfortable when I travel.
Yeah.
Unless I have to go straight from the airport to something. But most of the time I don't have to do that. I'm just traveling for travel. So I try to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Especially, like when we flown to Barcelona and Spain, I definitely didn't want to wear anything, that I'd have to be uncomfortable with. Because those are long flights.
So does that mean I'm going to have to just pack comfortable clothes because I'll be driving almost every day or riding every day?
Well, I think you're going to be one dressed up all the whole time.
Oh, no. No.
So.
Yeah. Are you ready for that week of me gone? You're going to have a party in here. You better not rent my desk out. You always trying to rent it out.
Well, I mean, if I can make money.
Hey, if they going to pay my rent, come on.
Right? We got to figure out how we're going to do this when you're gone.
Oh, that would be interesting. Where are we going to be Tuesday? Okay, so we're leaving.
So when are you leaving?
We're leaving Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yes. So we'll be in Ohio Saturday.
Pool party at Crystal's.
Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. So we're going to have, you'll be here and I'll be on wherever, probably going down the road in a camper. Should that
Hopefully you have some signal.
Oh, I'll have signal. Because we're just going to like Massachusetts. We'll be in Pennsylvania, maybe. Whenever Tuesday.
We need to figure out what we're going to do.
Either that or New York. Yes. So, Belinda talked about doing credit repair.
Yep.
So, since I'm not going to be here,
maybe we get Belinda
to do the HOA. Yeah, we can get Belinda to come in and do the credit repair. There's so many people out there that's got, not the greatest credit, and it could just be the simplest of things, and they just don't know because they don't know how to repair it.
Right. And I have several people in my pipeline that are in that position.
We need to send invites out to people that we know of, like, hey, how we used to do the first time home buyers class?
Yeah.
Michael Church.
We need to work on that the rest of this week.
Yeah.
For sure. Get that. So next week, Belinda, if you're listening, we'll be hollering at you.
I'll text her too.
To take and do that. That's definitely something that I think we need to jump on.
Yeah.
I always, on stuff like that, I always tell folks, don't look at it as you're hitting your credit and getting dinged. You're having a credit checkup, just like going to the doctor. You know, you don't always want to hear the bad news, but
Yeah,
you
but
know,
here's the thing.
it's never. There's always things that they can tell you to help you fix it.
Yeah.
To get, you know, it's gonna. You might get, yes, you might get knocked down a little bit because, you know, every time I feel like I go to the doctor, it seems like I've got something else wrong. Maybe if I don't go to the doctor, I wouldn't have problems. But
Or if you just start the carnivore diet, you will just keep getting good results every time you go.
Mm.
I'm determined, y'all. One of these days, he's going to be on this diet.
I ain't just me. You got to convince. But I don't think the carnivore diet with Melissa's stuff was going to work for her.
No. Well.
But no, we need to. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, there's processes that we can do to, you know, with the lenders to help fix and get somebody on board, ready to go. Sometimes it may only be 30 days. It could be 2 months, 3 months. It could be 6 months, a year.
Yeah.
We never know. It depends on each person.
I've had clients up to a year. I've had clients that, I mean, they literally paid off one thing and boom, they rescored it and it went up immediately. So it doesn't mean it's going to take a long time.
So sorry if today's not been what you thought it was going to be. I didn't know either because she changed it when we got here or when she got here. But
well, because like I said, you know, I was just driving and it was nice out and I just, you know, sometimes before it rained, but that's okay. It didn't put me in a bad mood because it rained. But you know, sometimes you want to continue that feeling of gratitude and just, I don't know, just thankfulness, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't feel like being negative tonight. Like, and I hate that when I refer to HOA that it's negative because it's not all negative, but
no, it's
the episode that would have happened tonight would have been more of a negative side of the HOA.
And that's because, you know, we've got about 7 minutes. The CCNRs, I mean, those are, you know, the deep part of what HOAs do, how they take and run.
Yeah.
It's the do's and the don'ts of the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when you have an HOA, you have to make sure that you understand and read the CCNRs.
Yeah.
Because like in my neighborhood, I mean, to build a storage building, it has to be on concrete. It has to be site built. It has to be in likeness of the home in color and style.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can't, because nothing in our neighborhood has a barn, barn style roofing. You have to have the traditional roofing.
Yeah.
On the storage buildings. You have to have shingles. You can't have metal roofing on it.
And I'm sure like the roof even has to match your roof. So things like that. Yeah.
And it's just the aesthetic.
Yeah.
It does. And it's just what helps keep the neighborhood looking good.
Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
You know, of course, I know that we talked about it, I think the last time where, you know, grass, you know, people get their yards, don't mow their yards, you know, stuff like that. I mean, mine's not that bad. I mean, we don't, you know, nobody really says anything about, I mean, people say stuff.
You keep your grass.
Huh?
You keep your grass cut though.
Yeah. Yeah. I have I've got somebody that cuts mine. And that stemmed from where I was taking some medication that could be in the sun. So, you know, which kind of worked out because it just made it better because now I don't cut it. And
well, it's like Andrew, you know, he used to always cut the grass when I moved in with him on Elam Road. It's like he's gone all week traveling, or used to be. And then he had Saturday and Sunday. All day Saturday, he was cutting the grass, weed eating, cleaning up.
Yeah, so when you're doing it by yourself,
days off.
It takes, especially if you're push mowing it, or, I mean, I had a riding mower, but it still take me an hour to do my yard, but I was particular about it.
No, he would push mow. He'd push mow. And I think he had over a half an acre there, but, you know, it wasn't even that. And then on Sundays, it's like laundry day. Since I've
Yeah.
known my husband, Sunday is our laundry day.
Laundry day's our day.
Yeah.
Sunday's our laundry day too.
So
Sometimes Missy, because she's off, her weekend is Sunday, Monday.
yeah.
So Monday she kind of does laundry because I have to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I go to work on Monday. So
That's
she
your
does
way
laundry.
of letting Missy do it. Do you do laundry?
Yeah, I do
Oh,
laundry.
okay.
I do laundry. I cook.
So
I
we share.
clean.
We'll help. You know, if he's outside doing work or something or doing something, then I'll do the laundry. You know. But it's taken in when we get ready for the morning. We'll take the laundry in there, and then it's an all day thing. But when we lived on Elam, because it was upstairs, we would stay upstairs until laundry was done. So I mean, practically half of the day was gone. So Saturday was gone, Sunday was gone. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is dumb. Like when we moved over to where we're at now, it's like we're gonna get somebody to do this.
Yeah.
You know, kind of gave him his day back.
Yeah, and that's part with us. It's giving us more time,
Mm-hmm.
To do stuff together because I would do it and everything else. But with our schedules working real estate, I mean, we're 7 days a week pretty much. So I mean, it just really
If
helps.
we're lucky.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's kind of one of those things that just kind of gave back some time. And of course, us raising 4 kids from the time we met,
Yeah.
practically, and got married to. I mean, heck, we'll be 30 years in July.
Oh my gosh.
30 years married in July.
So, Belinda said that she has a Zoom that she thinks from 6 to 7 next week, but she says she'll look at her calendar when she gets back. But if I told her ours is 7 to 8, so she said, perfect. I should be able to make that.
So is she going to jump on? Or
Probably, if
Okay.
she's got to be somewhere else for a Zoom, unless she brings her computer here. But we'll work out the details. So
yeah, we'll work that out.
regardless, they'll get the information. That's the important thing. But yeah, I think that'll be a really good.
Well,
that
at least
was
this
her
time we won't
idea.
pull her out of the bathtub.
Or will we? Do you take your Zoom calls in the bathtub, Miss Belinda? I don't know if it's anything like my sister. My sister be calling me every morning. She knows I'm in the bathtub. I'm like, I'll turn it on. Okay, Nita, mind you, she is at work. So she's sitting there with her phone on her desk and she FaceTimes me and she gets, I love her to death, but she might take it personal if I don't answer it. So I want to answer it. So I'll answer it in the bathtub, but it's like facing toward the ceiling because she's like, I don't care if you're in the bathtub. And I'm like, I care. And I'm sure your co-workers care. So anyways, yeah. So long
Yeah,
as we
Melissa. No.
Look, I'm telling you, my phone is with me. When I say my phone is with me 24/7, it is with me 24/7.
Oh,
If you
yeah,
need me,
mine's with
you're
me.
going to get a hold of me.
I try to keep late at night. Come 7:30, 8 o'clock. I try not to answer it unless it's something important
Yeah.
that I absolutely have to.
Yeah. Oh, my husband hates my phone at night because
So-
I have all the ring notifications too. So all the doorbell ring things, they'll chime, and
Melissa tells me to shut mine
it
off.
cringes him.
Turn-
Like he'll
turn the volume
cringe.
down.
Yeah. And I've gotten to where I have silenced those at night because they'll wake you up out of a dead sleep and scare the bejesus out of you.
Yeah.
But
So
anyway, so our time is about up.
it is.
And we just talked about a whole lot of nothing. But that's okay because it wasn't negative.
Nope. And we are here.
Yes.
So as you can see, we're still, no matter what.
Yeah.
We're always available.
Yes.
So if you're looking to buy or sell,
Give us a
invest in
call.
real estate, give us a call.
Crystal Reagan, Keller Williams, 615-956-5250. Don't do that, Adam.
No, I pulled something in my shoulder, so it's
Adam Mullen.
Yep, Adam Mullen at 615-713-8600.
Or you can email us. You can get through to both of us at realestateafterdark.kw@gmail.com. You can also throw your ideas and comments in there or any questions that you might have pertaining to anything real estate. We can help you buy, sell, or invest.
Yep. Give
So
us a call.
till next time, thank you guys for joining in and listening to us ramble, because that's what we're good at doing.
Tonight.
Well, we're always good at rambling.
Yeah, we're good all the time. But y'all be safe, stay dry, and we'll see y'all next week.